Absolutely.
Meanwhile, students at Saturday's March for Our Lives rally were quick to call for a ban on assault weapons. But do they actually know what that even means?
For banning an assault weapon, do you know what an assault weapon is?
Yeah, it's assault weapon. It's like
What is an assault weapon?
I consider any. I'm not even against just assault weapons. I'm pretty much against most guns.
I guess. Here with more media director for campusreform.org, Cabot Phillips. And what a job you have, Cabot, to go out on the streets and really get to the root of some of these issues and realize how little so many people know.
And at the start, it was encouraging to see people getting involved in the political process, using their voice, but I kept hearing them say, we need to ban assault weapons. That will make this problem go away. And I thought they would at least know some basics about what they're calling for. And if you're going to be advocating for policy that will impact millions of gun owners like myself, like many of the people here, you need to know some of the basics of what you're talking about. We decided to ask about the root of the cause, the Second Amendment, see if they knew a little bit more about that. The responses were about what you'd expect from those first answers. We can see here.
I think that the Second Amendment at this time is outdated. I think that the wording needs to be revisited.
I think it's something that was meant for a different time.
I think the Constitution in and of itself is something that's outdated.
I don't think it applies in today's society.
I don't think it leads to anything good or productive or peaceful.
And this is nothing new. We've covered at the Leadership Institute's Campus Forum how students everywhere, especially young people, don't appreciate the Second Amendment constitutional rights. And in this case, they think because the times have changed, their rights have changed also. And many of them don't understand that this legislation, they'll say, what's the point? Why would anyone need a gun like that? When Americans have the freedom to choose how to best defend themselves, preserve their right to self-defense, and legislation like this, while it's encouraging to see people get involved, we also need to encourage people to do it the right way. This isn't about semantics. I already have people on social media saying you're, going after those kids, trying to make them look dumb. If anything, we're trying to engage them, get a debate going. This is real-world legislation they're talking about. Let's have real-world debates and conversations.
So critics might say, okay, you selectively edited that. You went out on the street and talked to people. Was there someone that just said, this is exactly what an assault weapon is and exactly how it works?
Absolutely not. We filmed all day. The whole video is up on our website, and you can see not a single person could give me anything remotely close. Everyone was quick to say we need to ban weapons. Many of the students started coming out saying, look, I'm for banning all guns in general. No one should have to have a gun. We need to have a society like that. But student after student, it was across the board they wanted to ban this. And it's on the website, the March for Our Lives website. They say this is the legislation they want. That's what they want to see. And it was clear that many of the students were kind of repeating the talking points they heard. And there was a lack of diversity of opinion up on the stage and in the crowd there. And I think more discussions, reasonable people, we're Americans, we can have debates and discussions without it going into the territory of you want dead kids because you disagree with me.
It's great to be active, but if you want to change the laws, you want to change the Constitution, you probably should know what's in the Constitution.
Absolutely.
And also what changes you want to actually make to the law, like what you think the problem even is.
Absolutely, and that was one of the things we saw where the people saying the Constitution has changed because the founding fathers could never have imagined these firearms. And we talked earlier, the First Amendment also, should we change that? Because they were writing on parchment with quills and they couldn't imagine Twitter or social media. Should we change that? If a journalist, starts putting out fake news, should we take freedom of the press away from all journalists?
Yeah, Pete.
Just away from Ed.
You would love that.
Yeah, you know how to play that well.
It's such a great point, though. The First Amendment is a perfect analogy. Right. We never would have conceived of it, yet we wouldn't take it away because it's so central to who we are.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean we can't have these important conversations to figure out if there are changes that need to be made, like with safety of our kids. Should figure out
conversation based in logic and reason and policy and not in emotion and anger.
And also
which
not
is what we see.
That's the theme of the show today.
You've got some high expectations there.
Good stuff, brother.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Gavin.
Thanks for being here.
All right, if you have